Hello, lovely people. It's Victoria. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I have not made a long form video in a few weeks, and I've been meaning to make a sobriety update for a while. I'm leaning against my piano right now. So yeah, this is gonna be 75 days sober. I will be 75 as of like 9:30 p.m. tonight, but we're just gonna call it 75 as of right now. And yeah, been feeling a lot of feelings, and definitely have settled into the routine of sobriety and feeling good about it. Dealt with some uncomfortable feelings with the person that I'm seeing, and realized dating is definitely going to be a challenge with sobriety. I just recently got back on the apps and put in my profile that I'm sober, and I don't know, I was talking about this with my therapist the other day of I didn't have like the energy to go back on the apps because I just don't feel very optimistic about it, and I haven't gotten any matches so far. I feel like it's harder to get matches on there than it used to be. Currently on Bumble and Hinge because I'm just kind of afraid to ever go back on Tinder. I got a really good relationship out of Tinder a few years ago, but I feel like that was kind of an outlier. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. I feel like Tinder is just rough. I feel like it's the roughest of the apps for sure. Because yeah, I really enjoy the person I'm seeing, but they're basically just not going to go anywhere. We've established that it's just we're not going to be exclusive, we're not going to be physically intimate, we're not going to evolve into like L-word territory or anything like that. And they are moving states in January, February, and so I'm just managing my expectations, as Gabby Hedda would say, and decided to explore elsewhere because I think that's something that's good for me. But I also have been curious about multi-dating for a long time. I do think I ultimately want a monogamous relationship, but I want to keep my options open for at least a while. But yeah, I do want to grow beyond that at a certain point, and things feel a little stationary right now. So I think I'm just going to put myself out there and bite the bullet and not have super intense expectations because I am really busy. I am trying to finish this freaking EP at some point in like less than a month because I need to apply to South by Southwest by November 3rd at the absolute latest, and I want to have a completed project. I have the weekend off, thankfully, for my new job that I've been really enjoying, and so I need to work on that. Just have a lot of things going on, and then once that's done, I can go back into working on my portfolio and publishing things to my website, and maybe go back into trying to find a professional writer's job. But in the meantime, I'm at a retail clothing store right now, and I've been loving it. I am treated so well. I love my manager. I love the work environment, and that's just been really good for my mental health. So that's been really good. But yeah, definitely social interaction is going to be interesting once I really kind of get more out there in the dating game, because a big way that I used to meet people and socialize and let go of my inhibitions was drinking, going to this barcade for karaoke or going to clubs. And I would like to eventually go back to the dance club in my town because I do love dancing and just, not drink. That's something I haven't really tried yet, and I think maybe I can handle it because I am almost 5 months off of alcohol. So when I say sober, I mean fully sober from alcohol and weed, so I'm almost 75 days fully off of marijuana. And something I've noticed, a sensation I've noticed that kind of made me want to make this video, and I talked about it in my group meeting the other night, is I've definitely been feeling a lot more present in my body, and that's been validating and good. I feel like I have a more fully lived experience just in my day-to-day because I feel more of that mind-body connection because I can feel a more true sense of what I'm feeling and also why I'm feeling it. So like examples that I've been giving is like when I'm tired, I know that I'm actually tired rather than just everything being able to be defaulted to, oh, I'm just smoking weed, and so that's probably what this is. So if I'm tired, I'm actually tired and I'm not just sedating myself from smoking weed all the time. If I'm thirsty, I'm actually thirsty and I'm not just completely drying out my body. If I'm anxious, I am probably actually anxious for a reason beyond just zapping my brain. If I am being forgetful, then it's probably me being actually forgetful instead of zapping my focus, especially since I have been finally treating my ADHD. That has been really good as well in combination with that. So that's been a good part of my treatment plan, because I used to have this idea that I needed to smoke to maintain focus, but like it would completely kill my motivation, and I would also get like focused on other things, and so it didn't actually end up really working, but I had this idea in my head that that was helpful for me. I had some of the most intense cravings I've had in a while, specifically for alcohol. It's kind of funny. I've noticed myself craving alcohol more often than weed, but thankfully the cravings for either haven't been too frequent. But I had really bad cravings a little over a week ago because I just got really bad anxiety about asking for an adjustment to be made on my schedule at my new job, and I've been trying to focus on just being grateful for this new job, but I noticed my therapist called it like a trauma response because I've spent a lot of time in abusive work environments. I think that's fair to say. Very toxic and mentally damaging, to where it's kind of hard to believe that I'm in a safe space now and that people are respectful and the slightest little maybe mistake isn't going to make people hate me. So that's been a thing, and it triggered a lot of anxiety that made me want to take just like 6 shots of vodka. Another development, I still am having really vivid dreams. Thankfully, it hasn't been as viscerally like nightmare-ish as it was earlier, but still very vivid and sometimes stressful dreams. Also, I've noticed more than one dream where I'm smoking in the dream, and I think I am like consciously aware that I'm like relapsing in the dream. There was also one dream where, for some reason, I had stepped on a bunch of hypodermic needles. I've never used IV drugs before, and no one in my life ever has, so it was interesting that that was a central image of that dream. But yeah, I'd stepped on them, and my feet had like sores on them, and I'm sure there's a lot of symbolism in that. But yeah, definitely been having like more than one relapse dream, which I don't know how much the AI overview on Google can be trusted for a dream analysis, but I imagine it's probably just, representing my attachment and emotional attachment to the ritual of smoking that I've had for so long, and detaching from that. And yeah, and we're just continuing to look forward. I also did have this thing where every month that I remained sober, I wanted to reward myself with a spa treatment, but financial stress has been so real lately, especially because I have not had a steady paycheck in like over a month. And I did get my first paycheck recently, but it was smaller, so I don't have really any spending money right now. So I do still want to reward myself. It'll just probably have to be a bit of a smaller reward, but having a reward system has been really good for me. Oh, also, I regularly go to this group meeting, and this dude in my group the other night was so freaking annoying. It's very unfortunate when you go to a group meeting and it ends up like stressing you out even more than you already were. Like, otherwise it was really good discussion, but this one guy in my group, he just kept co-opting everyone's shares, made it about himself, was giving unsolicited advice, was basically just like doing almost all the don'ts that you're told not to do in a group session. And the moderator did not call him out for it in the moment, but I messaged the moderator and I'm like, in my opinion, that was not appropriate, and I kind of hope that you talk to him about that, because that was not okay to me. Just my own little opinion, but so hopefully he shared something about that, and hopefully I'm not the only one that felt that way, and so hopefully he doesn't do that in the future, because I might just call him out for it and not be polite about it. So that's about it. So if you're also on your recovery journey, hang in there. I believe in you. If you feel comfortable, feel free to share your experiences and stories. I would be curious. I was not expecting as much support and solidarity as was shown on my last video a few months ago, but it was a really pleasant surprise. So know that I believe in you, and I'm rooting for you, and we're just doing the best we can out here. I've also started to feel more comfortable with the idea of saying that I'm doing the best I can at something, because that's been kind of a trouble word for me for a long time. The idea of doing enough or doing my best or giving my all or anything like that has been hard, but I am I'm starting to feel more comfortable saying, like, I am doing the best I can at my recovery and my sobriety, and I'm working on it. And also, I've had such a dependence on sugar, specifically soda, the past couple of months, but I'm starting to actually wean myself off of that a little bit, and overall being a little healthier without needing to compensate with sugar and soda, which is definitely normal. Apparently that's very normal, but I also don't want to give myself diabetes. So I've been having tea with a lot of honey in it. Also been having, of course, my LaCroix and orange juice mixture. That is really helpful as well. So that, I think, is actually going to be it for this little update. So I hope y'all have a lovely day and a lovely weekend, and consider subscribing. I do a hodgepodge of different videos, which include these random little updates and mini vlogs and stuff, and hope you stick around because I'd like to think we have fun here. So I will hopefully see you next time.